edition, my next guest comes to us from Charlottesville, Virginia, where as a quarterback, he led his high school team to their first playoff in 10 years, while racking up first-team All-District accolades and a team MVP before graduating with honors in 2012. He then went on to start at James Madison University as a wide receiver, but also shined as a rusher and punt returner. And in 2016, his JMU Dukes won the FCS championship. By the end of that collegiate career, he had racked up numerous All-American honors, and then, of course, on to the NFL, where in 2017, he joins the Philadelphia Eagles and collects another championship, this time a Lombardi Trophy with those Philadelphia Eagles. But for us here on Raiders Fan Radio, the crowning achievement, of course, is when he signs the deal with the Oakland Raiders in January of this last year to a futures and reserves contract. And so we are so thankful and so glad to talk to him here today. Please welcome wide receiver of the Oakland Raiders, Rashard Davis. Welcome, Rashard.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to talk to you. And so first off, let's ask you, how's your offseason going so far?
It's been good, man. I have a 4-month-old son that I've been spending a lot of time with outside of training, and I've also started up my own training program where I'm helping younger kids, try to compete against the guys out here and try to get an edge on the competition. So it's been a lot on my plate, but I've been enjoying every minute of it.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on the young son. That's an amazing blessing. Being a new dad. What do you think about fatherhood so far?
Man, it's been great. I mean, around 3 months we had a sleep regression, which I could probably live without, but everything goes into the sunshine that the blessing of a son is or a child is. So it's all good.
Absolutely. My son, my oldest, the youngest one slept like a better term, slept like a baby. My oldest one cried for about 6 months straight. We didn't sleep at all. It was rough, but that's an amazing blessing, and congratulations on that. So I was going to ask you what the best part of your off season so far has been, but I think you just answered it. It sounds like that, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, definitely.
So where do you stay in the off season? What's your day like? I mean, obviously you're tied up with being a dad, but give us an idea, give Raider Nation an idea of what you're kind of, are you around the facility? Do you stay back home? What's your workout regimen like? Like what's kind of a day to day for you?
So I'm back in Charlottesville, Virginia, where I grew up. And I usually, for like a day-to-day, I usually wake up at about 5 in the morning. I'll go to the local YMCA, get into the swimming pool, do my routine. I usually do like a few agilities and stuff for like speed work and resistance, and then get some swimming in. From there, I will leave the pool maybe about 7:30, go to the field around here, which is University of Virginia Field, and run some routes and throw with my throwing coach. And then I usually take a little break during the day, go hang out with my son a little bit and my girlfriend, and then go out again and lift some weights and like get a nice lift in upper body or lower body, depending on the day, and then recover for the most part after that. That's usually my week. That's like almost every other day.
That's cool. So you mentioned you're working with a throwing coach. Do you of course you're a wide receiver in the NFL. Do you miss being a quarterback? Is that something that you still aspire towards, or tell us about that?
Oh, no. He just throws me the ball and
he's throwing to you. Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he's throwing. yeah. No, I gave quarterback up long. When I couldn't see over my offensive line in high school, I knew quarterback was short lived for me.
So tell us about what's your wheelhouse? What's your skill set? What do you tell Raider Nation, like what is it like a slot receiver? Like what is your best case scenario for where you're at in terms of fitting into the offense?
Best case scenario, I'll be a slot receiver. But I could also play outside because I can play as a big man. My stature is about 5'9", 180, so I'm more of a smaller guy, but I ran a 4.38 in my pro day coming out of JMU. So I have speed on me, which is my game, speed and looseness, and I try to make people miss. So that's really what I, go to when I'm playing my game and really competing with the guys.
Are you pretty fired up for the additions? I know of course it adds competition, which is a good thing, but man, some pretty solid big time veterans coming into the wide receiver room for the Raiders. So what do you think about Tyra Williams and Antonio Brown?
Man, I'm excited, seeing those guys play. especially while I was coming up, especially Antonio Brown. I've always looked up to him. And he's one of those guys that I've mirrored my game after. So I'm excited to, get to work with him, practice with him. I see, he's a hard-working guy, and I'm the same way. So I just want to go in, learn from him as much as I can, and, just take, the game from his eyes and from his perspective, and just, incorporate into my game and go from there. Because obviously he's been in the game. He knows what it takes to, have a long career and a successful career. So I just want to learn from him and go from there and elevate my game.
How important is that? We hear, just as fans look from the outside looking in, we hear, what players are their leaders or they're not leaders, or they're mentors or they're not. Or how important is a young player like yourself, up and coming? How important is that to have probably a Hall of Famer, to mentor you and to work with, even just to work with in practice? How important is that to a young player in your career?
I think it's very important because, as a young player, you don't really know what you don't know. So if you don't really have somebody to, look at and mirror your game after or take advice from, then you could obviously get lost in the sauce somewhere and really not bloom to the skillful guy that you could be. So I think it's very important. Obviously at the Eagles, I had guys like Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith and even Nelson, who's had some success in the game to look at. But somebody like AP, who's more, in tune to my skill set and has been in the game longer, I think I'm definitely going to learn a lot from him.
Hey, so what you mentioned when you were at the Eagles, when you were there, did you cross paths with Carson Wentz at all? Did you rub it in that you guys beat North Dakota State on your way to winning the FCS championship?
I don't think I would have been, considered an Eagle if I didn't rub that in at some point with Carson Wentz. Literally the first day I got there, I shook his hand. I was like, nice to meet you. I was like, I just want to let you know I'm from JMU. And he didn't even let me finish my sentence. He was like, oh, winner. But it was great, man. He's a good dude. Actually, the summer after we won the Super Bowl and everything, we all did a mission trip to Haiti, me, Carson, and Nate Suffield and a couple of the other guys, Zach Ertz. So it was fun, in that experience and having that bonding time with those guys. It's memories that you can never, forget. So
wow,
it was a great time.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate you sharing that with us. That's the stuff that we love to hear, man. We love to hear those stories beyond football, man. That's awesome. Yes, that is sir. Awesome. So have you had any interactions with the new front office of the Raiders now? Have you talked to Coach or Mike Mayock or any of those folks?
I talked to them. So they ended up signing me later in the year last year before I signed the futures contract. So I was there for a little bit of time, and I talked to Gruden and Mayock and those guys. And I got the feel of, the locker room and the work environment and everything. It's all kind of like a big family, which was similar to the Eagles. So I definitely think, going forward, I think we have something special. And, it'd definitely be good to everybody come together, click together like one, and just go put it all out there in the field and make things happen. Excited for that family environment to get to work in.
So what do you think about Vegas? Of course, you're going to get to experience the year in Oakland, the last year in Oakland, which is going to be amazing. At home. What do you think about the pending move into the new city?
I think it's going to be a good move. I actually haven't been to Vegas, and I said it to you, we're like, dang, really? Like, that's crazy. I actually haven't been to Vegas. But from what I hear, it's a great place, so I think it's going to be a good move. The hockey teams just went there and they've been having success. So why not go there and mirror that success, and just keep on the winning path.
Absolutely. Entertainment capital of the world, man. It's a lot of fun. Vegas is a good time. It's going to be a great marriage between team and city. I'm excited, and a lot of Raider Nation. Of course, we're all disappointed they couldn't stay in Oakland, but once you kind of get past that, the idea of now going to Vegas is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So so you mentioned kind of some of your football influences, like AB. We're a show about fandom, about being fans of the Raiders. What are some things that you were fans of growing up?
As in like player wise, or just like overall?
Yeah, like give me a football fandom, and then how about something else outside of that, pop culture or music or something?
Let me see. Like I said, AP was one of the guys I looked up to Deshaun Jackson. I have a few guys, but growing up, like my family, my dad in particular was a big Cowboys fan, which was, crazy going to the Eagles. They obviously hate the Cowboys. They obviously hate the Cowboys, so that was kind of ironic. But growing up into that culture, because he was a big Emmitt Smith fan. So, I got to see all Emmitt Smith, like, plays and stuff because he used to have those videos. And so I got to see him move. And I think, honestly, that's where I got, like, my looseness from. And just watching him make his moves and stuff like that. I used to practice him in the backyard with my cousins and stuff. So that's one thing, I grew up looking at, growing to love. And then, like, music-wise and stuff like that, I like to mix it up a lot. I listen to pop. I listen to R&B, hip-hop, a few country songs thrown in there because my dad, he's low-key a big country fan. I like scary movies, but honestly, there hasn't really been a good scary movie in a long time. So waiting for that next movie.
They don't quite make them like they used to. There's not
exactly.
There's something missing. It's sometimes with some of this. How about that? I haven't seen Us yet. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't, but I heard it's like super confusing. But I need to really go see it because I heard it's also confusing, but it's a great movie. So I definitely need to go see it.
And I liked Get Out. Like I think Jordan Peele, like he's great. I haven't seen the new Twilight Zone yet either, but he's like, I think he kind of gets the horror, like of what we're talking about, kind of that old school thing. And I'm hoping that there'll be a little bit of a resurgence of that.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, before we let you go, we always ask for a message to Raider Nation. We always want to give out a message to the fans. We're heard in 80 countries and all 50 states. Raider Nation is truly a global thing, man. We're all over the place. And so what would your message to the fans be?
I hope you guys take me in and embrace me. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy, for a new start, ready to get to work with you guys. I want to get in there, get to work, and, try to help turn the program around so we can have a successful program that's going to be a contender for the Super Bowl. And I hope you guys are ready to ride because it's going to be a long season coming up.
Beautiful, man. Well, we're excited for you, and we wish you nothing but success. And congratulations on all your success to this point. You're already starting to carve out a pretty cool career, man. You've already got the hardware, man. You've already won a collegiate championship and an NFL championship, and now we just want to see you help bring one back to Oakland for one last time before we head to Vegas. Yes, so that's awesome, man. Great to talk to you, and definitely appreciate your time here, Rashard, and good luck this season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it for having me, Murph.